诗篇。
Now let's come back again to Psalm 90.
诗篇的90篇。
Psalm 90.
90篇的第1节。
Psalm 90 verse 1.
请读
Psalm 90 verse 1. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations.
前面小字说这是神人摩西的祈祷。
And there's a small title at the top saying a prayer of Moses, the man of God.
首先我们看摩西的一生到底他经历过什么。
First, let us study as to the entire life of Moses. What did he encounter?
前面40年他住在王宫里面。
The first 40 years of his life, he lived in the palace.
有最终的快乐。
He enjoyed the sinful pleasures.
他有王孙的地位。
He had the status of a royal grandchild.
有满地的金银。
And he had wealth everywhere.
所以人间所谓的福气他都享受过。
So whatever prosperity on earth, Moses had experienced them all.
那中间40岁到80岁牧羊40年。
Between the ages of 40 and 80, he was a shepherd for 40 years.
最后40年。
And the final 40 years of his life,
带领以色列百姓走旷野路40年。
he led the Israelites to walk in the wilderness for 40 years.
他曾经面对面跟神讲话。
He had spoken to God face to face.
他曾经看过神让红海分开。
He had seen how God parted the Red Sea.
他曾经吃过从天上降的玛瑙。
He had eaten the manna that fell down from heaven.
他曾经喝过磐石流出来的水。
He had drunk the water that flowed out of the rock.
他曾经跟着云柱火柱走40年。
He had followed the pillar of fire and clouds and walked for 40 years.
对他来讲，神不但是真的，神是活的。
To him, God was not only real and true, but he is alive.
那这样的一个人到底他的人生在追求什么？
So with such kind of men, what does he actually pursue after in his life?
他经历的我们没有经历过。
Whatever he experienced, we have never experienced before.
所以他的人生结论比我们更有分量。
So therefore, the conclusion that he makes of life carries much weight than the conclusion that we make.
所以第一句话说第1节说，主啊，你世世代代做我们的居所。
So his first words here in verse 1 is, Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations.
这个主就是天上的神。
This Lord refers to the God in heaven.
他不但相信有一个神，
He not only believes that there is a God,
而且他愿意让这个神来做他人生的主宰。
but he was also willing to have this God be the sovereign ruler of his life.
当有一个神做我们人生的主宰，
So when we have a God that is sovereign and rules our life,
表示他在控制我们的人生，他在带领我们的人生。
it means that he controls our lives and he is guiding our lives.
表示我们顺从他的带领，我们尊重他为大。
This means that we submit to his guidance and we honor and magnify him.
下面说，你世世代代做我们的居所。
So he said, you have been our dwelling place in all generations.
家庭是最亲密的地方。
The home or the family is the coziest place in the world.
所以父母兄弟姐妹都住在一起。
Therefore, father, mother, and siblings, we all live together.
那在这里，摩西很愿意神世世代代跟神相亲，住在一起，住在神里面。
So here, Moses was very willing to maintain this close relationship with God and to dwell with him forever, eternally.
所以90章第1节，这可以讲摩西对人生的结论。
So therefore, 整个章啊。
结论。
Okay. So this chapter, this psalm is Moses' conclusion.
不但人需要相信有神，
That humans not only need to believe that there is a God,
而且我们要让神当我们的主宰，
we also need to make God the sovereign ruler in our lives.
而且 我们要跟神相亲，住在一起。
And we have to draw close to God and to dwell with Him.
那为什么摩西会有这个结论？
So now, why or how did Moses come to this conclusion?
为什么我们也需要跟摩西有相同的结论？
And why is it that we likewise ought to reach the same conclusion as Moses?
那这样的结论对我们人生的追求会有什么改变？
And with such kind of conclusion, what will be the change that we see in our lives?
那这就是从第2节一直到最后。
And then we can find the answers from verses 2 to the end.
第2节是摩西对神的认识。
Verse 2 depicts the understanding of Moses towards God.
第3节一直到第10节
Verses
是摩西对人生的认识。
To 10 depicts Moses' understanding of human life.
如果我们对神有认识跟摩西一样，
If we have the same understanding of God just as Moses had,
如果我们对人生的认识跟摩西一样，
and if we had the same understanding of human life just as Moses had,
那我们对人生的结论就会跟摩西一样。
then our conclusion of human life will be the same as that of Moses.
那有时候为什么我们的生活好像结论跟摩西不一样？
So sometimes, why is it that we find that the conclusion of our lives are different from that of Moses?
有时候是因为对神认识不一样，
It is sometimes because our understanding of God is different.
有时候是对人生的认识不一样。
And sometimes it is because our understanding of human life is different.
那认识不一样，结论就不一样。
So with the different understanding, then we come to different conclusions.
好，那摩西对神的认识是什么？
So now let us study as to what is Moses' understanding of God.
好，我们现在来看诗篇90篇的第2节。
So now let's read Psalm 90 verse 2.
请读
Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God.
从亘古到永远，你是神。
So even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God.
从无穷尽的过去到无穷尽的未来，你是神。
So from the unlimited or the eternal past to the eternal future, you have existed.
所以你是神，这个是不会改变的。
So the fact that you are God can never change.
神的本性不会改变，
So the nature of God never
神
changes.
的存在不会改变，
The existence of God never changes.
神的计划不会改变。
The plan of God never changes.
那神是怎样的一位神？
So then what kind of God is this God?
神是一个灵，
God is spirit.
看不见也摸不到。
We cannot see and we cannot touch him.
那我们怎么知道神是怎样的一位神？
So then how can we know what kind of God he is?
那我们就看神的杰作是什么。
Then we can look at his creation.
神所留下来的痕迹是什么？
What are the marks that he left behind?
那从这样来认识神。
And it's through these that we come to know him.
所以诸天未曾生出，地与世界你未曾造成，就是表示天跟地是神造的。
So before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, this means that the heavens and the earth was created by God.
那神在造天地当中到底显现什么？
So when God created heaven and earth, what does he actually manifest?
我们来看耶利米书第10章。
Please turn to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10.
耶利米书的第10章
Jeremiah, chapter 10,
12节。
verse 12.
耶利米书第10章12节
Jeremiah
13节。
Chapter 10, verses 12 to 13. Verse 12, He has made the earth by his power, he has established the world by his wisdom, and has stretched out the heavens at his discretion. 13, When he utters his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain. He brings the wind out of his treasuries.
在神的创造里面，至少显露3件事情。
So in God's creation, at least he manifests 3 things.
第一件，
First,
神的能力。
God's power.
所以神用能力创造大地。
He has made the earth by his power.
神创造的宇宙有多大呢？
So how big is the universe that God created?
我们没有办法了解。
It is impossible for us to fully understand.
然后神用他全能的命令托住他所创造的世界。
And God stretched out the heaven. God stretched out the heavens at his discretion.
用他的全能的命令他的命令也带有权柄，把他托住的。
And he does this through his all-powerful command.
所以为什么地球会自转？
And this is the reason why the earth can rotate.
为什么地球会绕太阳转？
And why is it that the earth can rotate around the sun?
为什么月亮会绕地球转？
And why is it that the moon can rotate over the earth?
如果回到圣经，因为神用他的命令把它放在那里，
And if we come
它就一直进行。
And if we come back to the Bible, we know that this is because God established the world by his wisdom and his word.
所以圣经在描写神叫做无所不能的神，
So the Bible describes God as the all-powerful God.
没有一件事情做不来，
There is nothing that he cannot accomplish.
在他的创造显示他的能力。
And from his creation, we see his powers.
那下面说，他用智慧建立世界，用聪明铺张穹苍。
And next it says that he established the world by his wisdom and stretched out the heavens at his discretion.
我们抬头看天上的万象，
When we lift up our heads and look at the sky,
这是神用他的智慧造出来的。
we know that these are all created by the wisdom of God.
我们低头看这个世界，
And if we look down and look at the earth,
这是
at
神
the world,
用他的智慧建立的。
and it is also created by the wisdom of God.
所以在神的创造里面隐藏神无穷尽的智慧。
So in God's creation, it is hidden the limitless wisdom of God.
所以我们一生你不管怎么读书，只是神智慧里面的一滴水而已。
So in our entire lives, regardless how hard you study, the knowledge you accumulate is only one little drop of water compared to the wisdom of God.
所以没有一件事情神不知道，
So there is nothing that God does not know.
没有一个困难神没有答案。
And there is no problem that God has no solution for.
因为他用智慧，他用聪明创造世界跟地球。
Because he uses his wisdom and power to create this heaven and earth.
那13节，
Verse 13.
13节在讲什么？
So what is verse 13 talking about?
13节在讲神的爱。
Verse 13 talks about the love of God.
你看一个小孩子生出来，
We see a child being born.
哇，床已经预备好了，
They have prepared, the parents have prepared the bed,
里面很多的玩具，
and it's full of toys,
然后温度很适合他，
and the temperature is just right for the baby.
什么都准备好了。
So everything is prepared.
为什么？
Why?
因为这个父母的爱为孩子准备这么好的环境。
It is the parental love that prepares such a wonderful environment for the baby.
那圣经说，遍地充满神的慈爱。
So the Bible says that the earth is full of the love of God.
我们今天来教会看到神的慈爱吗？
So today on our way to church, have we witnessed the love of God?
爱很抽象
Love is very abstract.
神是一个灵，
God is spirit.
神的慈爱怎么看得到呢？
So how can we visually see the love of God?
13节就是在讲神的慈爱，
So verse 13 describes the love of God.
在他的创造中把他的爱表现出来。
So it's through his creation that he manifests his love.
这里讲他一发声，空中便有多水激动，就是让雨下来。
So here says, when he utters his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens. This refers to the rainfall.
我们住在加州最了解，只要2-3年不下雨，这个真的是很大的问题。
So living in California, we're very familiar with the fact that as long as the rain does not fall for 2 to 3 years, then it creates a great
所
problem.
以下雨是神的恩典，
Therefore, rainfall is the blessing of God.
下雨让我们百物能够生长，
It is the rain that makes all things grow.
这就是神的爱。
So this refers to the love of God.
那我们再看下面一句，
Let's continue to read the next verse.
它使云雾从地极上腾，
He causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth.
如果我们夏天呢，再看那个柏油路啊，好像有这个一直水蒸气一直上去。
So in the summer, if you look at the asphalt road, you will see that there's like vapors keep floating up.
那是为什么会这样？
So why is this happening?
这里说它是云雾从地极上的，
Here says he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth.
这个是神的爱。
This is the love of God.
为什么？
Why?
因为如果夏天很热你用水把你周围停车场全部都洒一洒，你发现温度就降下来。
Because in the summer, when the temperature is very high, if you spray water on your parking lot, then the temperature, you can feel cooler and the temperature can go down.
所以云雾从地极上腾，就是温度能够调节温度，刚好适合我们住。
So when the vapors ascend, it is a temperature control so that we can have the best and most comfortable temperature.
这就是神的慈爱。
And this shows the love of God.
我们再看，他造电随雨而闪。
And we continue reading the verse. He makes lightning for the rain.
你看那个加州有这个红木又高又直，长得这么高。
In California, we have these tall redwood trees.
是谁给它施肥的？
So who fertilizes that tree?
没有人施肥，它为什么长又高又直？
So no one fertilizes the tree. Then how did it grow up so straight and so tall?
那个科学家已经研究，一打雷就会产生化学元素，就是变成肥料。
So scientists have researched that when the lightning strikes, there's a chemical reaction that fertilizes the plant.
所以这个植物就会生长。
And this is how the plant is able to grow.
它从府库带出风来。
He brings the wind out of his treasuries.
风带让我们觉得很舒服。
The wind makes us feel very comfortable.
风带给我们清新的空气。
The wind gives us fresh air.
这就是神的慈爱。
This shows the love of God.
所以在神的创作里面，
Therefore, under the creation of God,
我们看到神的能力，看到神的智慧，看到神的慈爱。
we can see the power, the wisdom, and the love of God.
那这一位神叫做我们的父。
And this God is called our Father.
那这一位神成为人来地上寻找失落的人。
And this God came to earth to seek the lost souls.
所以为什么人需要神？
So therefore, why do men need God?
我们不接受神，神还是神。
Because even if we reject God, God is still God.
神不会说，因为我们不拜，全世界人都不拜他，说今天他不是神。
So even if people today do not worship and acknowledge Him, it does not discount that He is God.
神也不是一些人讲，你相信他有他就有，你相信没有他就没有。
So God is not someone where you believe He exists and He exists. If you don't believe He exists, then He disappears. No.
但是神是存在的，
But God always exists.
神是好的，
God is good.
神是我们的父亲。
God is our Father.
如果我们能够亲近他，
And if we can draw near to Him,
这是浪子找到父亲，
this would be like a prodigal son
这个生活。
finding his father.
生活就是活在他的能力、他的智慧、他的爱里面。
Then our lives we can live under His power, wisdom, and love.
但是如果我们选择没有神的生活，
But if we choose to lead a life without God,
我们一生的损失没有比这个更大的。
then the loss we suffer cannot be greater than any other loss we experience in this
所以
world.
摩西为什么他觉得我需要神当我的主宰？
So therefore, then why does Moses have this need to have God as his sovereign ruler?
而且我希望能亲近他，跟他住在一起。
To the extent that he wants to draw near to God and to live with Him.
因为这一位神实在是太伟大、太奇妙、太好了。
This is because this God is too great, too amazing, and too good.
如果这一位神现在是一个人，我想我们大家都希望把他请来住在我家。
And if this God is a human person, then we all would love to invite Him to dwell and live in our homes.
因为他什么都做得到啊，
Because He can do everything.
每一个问题又能够解决。
And He can solve all problems.
他又很有爱心呢。
And he's also full of love.
有这样一个人，谁不愿意让他住在我们家里呢？
So with such kind of person, well, which of us would not be very willing to invite him to our homes?
所以摩西对人生的结论，是因为他对神有真的认识。
So therefore, Moses was able to come to a conclusion of his life because he had this knowledge of God.
那我们就看，那摩西对人的认识跟我们对人的认识又有什么不同？
And next, let's compare our understanding of human versus Moses' understanding of human.
所以为什么在他看起来人一定需要神，但是对我们来讲，我不一定需要神？
So why is it that Moses comes to the conclusion that all humans need God, whilst we humans think that we don't need God?
因为我们对人的看法不一样。
It is because our understanding of human life is different.
好，我们从第3节诗篇90篇的第3节。
Now let's read Psalm 90 verse 3.
好，从第3节一直开始差不多每一节都有你、我们。
So starting from verses 3 on, every verse almost had the word you, I, and us.
你就是天上的神。
You refer to the God in heaven.
我们在当时指着摩西，现在指着每一个人。
Us at that time refers to Moses, and now it refers to us.
虽然有时候我们在想我没有拜神，我也活得好好。
Sometimes we would tell ourselves, oh, although I don't worship God, I still lead a good life.
但是如果从第3节一直念下去，我们每一天的生活都在神的掌控之中。
But if we continue reading from verse 3, we come to know that every part of our lives is under the control of God.
有时候我们地上看一只蚂蚁
Sometimes we look on the ground, there is an ant.
如果蚂蚁敢出声说，我不认识你，
And if the ant dare to speak up and say, I do not know you,
那还不简单，脚一踏它死光了。
then there's nothing easier. All you need to do is just step on it and that's it.
神这么伟大，
But God is so great.
但是人竟然可以否定神。
And yet man can deny the existence of
实
God.
在是因为神的怜悯，不然我们都死光了。
So this is indeed shows the mercy of God. Otherwise, we would all have been annihilated.
所以第3节，你使世人归于尘土，说你们要归回。
Verse 3, you turn man to destruction and say, return, O children of man.
我们要归回。
We have to return.
如果我们是归回天国，那是好的。
If we return to heaven, that is something good.
但是你要归回尘土。
But you need to return to dust.
所以人生的归宿是什么？
So therefore, what is the ultimate end of human
这里
life?
说归回尘土，
Here says, return to dust.
因为我们肉体是泥土造的，
Because we humans are made of dust.
所以有一天我们要归回尘土。
So one day we have to return to dust and the earth.
那这个告诉我们几件事情。
So this tells us a few things.
第一件事情，
First thing,
死是必然的结局。
death is the ultimate end of everyone.
归回尘土就是死。
So to return to dust means to die.
第二个结论，
And the second conclusion,
既然我们归回尘土，
since we all return to dust,
请问200磅的土，你到外面去拿200磅的土值多少钱？
so let me ask you, if you go out and buy or get 200 pounds of soil or dust, how much is it worth?
随便你拿。
You help yourselves.
这个泥土是没有什么价值的。
Because soil or dust does not worth much.
所以我们的身体，你一直去保养，
So if you keep maintaining your entire body,
一生就是为着身体。
and your entire life is just focusing on your body,
但是使得你这个身体送给人也不要，
but when you die, even if you freely give your body to someone, no one wants it.
所以这个告诉我们，人的价值不在这个身体。
So this tells us that the worth of a person's life is not based on this physical body.
我刚刚出来当传道，
When I first started coming out as a preacher,
有一次有一个姐妹离世，
there was a sister who just passed away.
她是初信的，
She was a new believer.
生病很严重，
She contracted a very serious illness.
我就跟一个看会堂的姐妹去看她，
So I went with a sister who takes care of the church to visit her.
那我们就帮她祷告，因为
And-
看她很痛苦。
So we all prayed for her because she was in great pain.
那祷告完，
And after the prayer,
我看她亲自呼吸3次断气了。
I personally saw that she took 3 breaths and then she breathed her last.
这是我第一次在当传道看到人断气。
So this was the first time that as a preacher I see someone dying.
过了几天办丧礼，
After a few days, I conducted a funeral
他
service.
就躺在我后面。
And she was just lying behind me.
那丧礼完就送到火葬场，
And after the funeral, she was brought for cremation.
我就很好奇，跑到后面有一个洞啊，看着火葬是怎么一回事。
And I was curious, so I went to the crematorium and looked through a hole.
然后他用那个柴油一喷进去，
So they sprayed this gas,
那火
petroleum,
温度很大，
and the heat of the fire was great.
然后人一经过这个火以后，稍稍会翘起来。
And when the human body passes through this great heat, the body would just jump up.
到过了2个钟头，
And after 2 hours,
那个抽出来，
they extracted the thing.
然后就把比较重要那个骨头骨的什么骨，就把它放到这个一个罐子里面。
So they would extract the more major bones, like the skull and bigger bones, and put it in a jar.
1星期前，他是一个活人；
So just 1 week ago, she was a living human.
1星期以后，他是一坛骨灰。
And after a week, she is just a jar of ashes.
所以人到底价值在哪里？
So let me ask you, where is the value
人
of
到底
human
是为
life?
什么活着？
Why does human live?
神是我们归回尘土，
It is God that makes us return to dust.
死是众人的结局。
Death is the conclusion of all men.
所以如果我们为着肉体在活，
So if we are merely living for our physical body,
要死的时候是很虚空的，
then on your deathbed, you will feel very empty
因为这个没有希望啊，人生没有一个盼望。
because your life is hopeless. There is no hope ahead of you.
我们看第4节
Let's read verse 4.
诗篇90篇第4节。
Psalm 90, verse 4. For 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it is past, and like a watch in the night.
在神看起来，1000年如已过的昨日。
So in God's eyes, 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it is past.
圣经里面最长寿人活969岁，
So the oldest person that ever lived in the Bible is 969 years
我
old.
们现在连1/10都很难啊。
And today, it's even difficult for us to live 10% of that oldest man.
那即使活1000年，在神看起来像一天，
But even if we lived 1,000 years, in God's eyes, it's just like 1 day.
那活70-80年就是晚上的1更2-3个小时。
So if we live 70 to 80 years, it's just like a 1 watch in the night. So it's about 3 to 4 hours.
所以人生非常的短暂。
Therefore, human life is very brief and short.
你想想看啊，过去好像我们还在童年，现在已经60-70岁。
And if you just think back, your childhood seems to be just yesterday, and now you're already aging.
所以人生很快就会过去。
So therefore, our human life passes on very, very quickly.
好，那我们再看第5节。
And now let's read verse 5. You carry them away like a flood. They are like asleep. In the morning, they are like grass which grows up.
我就用中文我们来思考这一节圣经节。
So I'll use the Chinese to explain this verse.
你叫他们如水冲去。
So you carry them away like the Chinese says, like water.
你像那个尼加拉瓜瀑布你看千万的加仑水，瀑布一直冲下去。
Like the Niagara Falls, there's tons of gallons of water that comes rushing down.
冲过去了就不再回来了。
And as soon as the water rushes down, it will never return.
所以我们每一天活着好像很忙，
So every day we lead very busy
但是
lives.
这一天一过去，永远不再回来。
But if as soon as this day passes, it will never ever return.
如果我们是50岁，
And suppose we are 50 years old,
这一年过去，永远不再回来，
and after this year passes, it will never ever come back.
如水冲去。
It is just like it's being carried away like water.
所以人没有第2次的机会，
So therefore, humans have no second chances.
只能活一次。
A human life have no second chances. You can only live your life once.
过去 去就不再回来。
And as soon as it passes, it will never come back.
所以我们要把握现在，
Therefore, we have to grab hold of today.
机会是现在的，
The opportunity is the present.
过去就没有了。
Once it passes, then it's no more.
所以我们好像水冲去。
So we are being carried away like water.
那过去只剩什么？剩一堆记忆。
And so what does the past leave us with? It only leave us with some memories.
有一次我到一个老人院去看一个弟兄，
One time I visited a senior home to visit a church brother.
他应该是受很好的教育。
He used to have, he is very highly educated.
在公司大概也一直爬到某一个职位才退休。
So he climbed up the corporate ladder very high and before he retires.
等他住到老人院，
And when he moved into the senior home,
他只有一个床，
he only had a bed,
一个桌子，
a table,
然后一个书架，
and a bookshelf.
书架里面很多的照片。
And on his bookshelf, there were many, many photos.
他还有分年，几年到几年，每一年都有一册的照片。
Then he organized his pictures into albums with different years.
这个就是人生啊！
So this is human life.
活的一辈子剩什么？就是这一些照片，
So
这个就是记忆。
So you lived your entire life. What do you leave behind, or what do you accumulate? It's just these different albums, these memories.
所以过去就不再回来。
So therefore, the past would go and never come back.
但是关键是这个照片是因为我们在里面，所以我们觉得很宝贵。
So the crux is that because we are in those pictures, therefore we deem them as precious.
那等我们过去了，
But after we pass,
我们的下一代大概就看一看，这里面有我，所以把它拿下来。
then our next generation perhaps would look at the pictures and say, okay, I'm in here, so I'll keep it.
没有我的放在 garage，
So those pictures, without me in them, I'll put them in the garage.
这是事实啊。
So this is the reality.
那再传给下一代，
And then when these pictures is passed on to the next generation,
看来看去这里面都没有我，
they will look, and I'm not inside.
你就知道这些照片要跑去哪里了。
Then you will know where these pictures would end up.
这个就是人生啊，
So this is human life.
如水冲去，
It's just carried away like water.
不再回来，
It never returns.
只剩下记忆。
All that is left are memories.
当然我们很注重我们对自己的记忆。
And we are we put great emphasis on our own memories.
所以死了就等于电脑delete，什么都没有。
But upon our death, it's just like deleting the entire memory of your computer.
那如果神记得我们，这个最重要了，
And therefore, it is most important that God remembers us
因为神还活着啊，
because God is still living.
所以他记得我们，这个就是最重要。
And if He remembers us, that is of most important.
所以人到底要努力什么？
So therefore, what does humans actually have to work hard for?
有时候你到风景区去看，
Sometimes you go to the scenic areas.
总是有人会刻某某人某年某月到此一游。
You will always find people carving on the rocks or the walls, saying that the trees that so and so has been here.
人要留名。
It's a human tendency to leave behind their name.
但是如果神在他的册上留我们的名字，这个最重要。
But what is most important is for God to leave our names in His book.
那下面他们如睡一觉。
And the verse goes on, they are like asleep.
睡觉是什么？睡觉跟做梦连在一起的。
What is sleep? Sleep is often related with dreams.
人生好像一场梦。
So our life can be likened to a dream.
年轻的时候很多理想。
When we're young, we're full of ideals.
但是睡醒了只是一场梦。
But as soon as we are awake, we realize that it's only a dream.
所以人生好像睡一觉。
So therefore, our human lives can be likened to a sleep.
接下去好像生长的草。
Next, it's like grass which grows up.
第6节。
Verse 6.
早晨发芽生长，晚上割下枯干。
In the morning it flourishes and grows up. In the evening it is cut down and withers.
所以人虽然 会像花草，很漂亮，吸引人。
So although humans can be very beautiful and like a flower and attracts others,
这是人生的巅峰啊！
this can be called the pinnacle of our human life.
但是我们要知道，有一天会开始凋谢。
But we have to understand that one day this flower will begin to wither.
有一天我们就掉下来，就被忘记了。
And one day it will completely fall and we will be forgotten.
我们这个地上的价值，肉体的价值就没有了。
So the value of our physical body will disappear.
这是事实，这个是人生
So this is reality, this is human life.
那最可怕的是什么？
And what is then the most dreadful
是
thing?
从第7节到第9节。
And we can see this from verses 7 to 9.
我们因你的怒气而消灭，因你的愤怒而惊慌。
For we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified.
我们是活在神的愤怒中啊！
We all live under the wrath of God.
这个很难了解啊。
So this is very difficult to understand.
我也没有得罪神啊，怎么活在神的愤怒当
I
中？
never offended God. How then why then would I live under his
我们
wrath?
看第8节。
Let's read verse 8. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your countenance.
原来我们在神的眼中是有罪的。
So in reality, before God, we have sinned.
那我们的罪孽在神的面前赤露敞开。
So before God, our iniquities are set forth.
我们的隐恶在神的面光之中。
And our secret sins are in the light of his countenance.
什么是隐恶？
What are secret sins?
最深的地方就是我们的心了。
So the deepest part of ourselves is our heart.
所以谁知道我们里面有没有罪？
So who knows if we have sinned deep inside us?
但是最里面那个隐恶，在神的面前是很明显的。
But the deepest secret sins in us are very clearly manifested before God.
我们要刻意隐藏，没有人知道的罪也会跑出来。
So even the secret sins that we want to hide will be shown before God.
所以在神面前，每个人都活在罪里面。
Therefore, before God, everyone lives in sin.
因此，活在神的愤怒之中。
Therefore, we all live under the wrath of God.
第9节。
Verse 9. For all our days have passed away in your wrath. We finish our years like a sigh.
我们经过的日子都在神的震怒之下。
So all our days have passed away in God's wrath.
所以有时候我们看这个东方的文化，如果一个人活到100岁死了，要庆祝了，他活了100年了。
So if we look at the Eastern culture, Oriental culture, when a person lives up to 100 years and passed away, then they will have a great celebration.
但是如果回到圣经，
But if we come back to the Bible,
这个有什么可以庆祝呢？
what is there to celebrate?
因为人是活在神的愤怒之中。
It's because we humans are living under the wrath of
如
God.
果罪没有解决，
If we do not solve the problem of
死
sin,
的日子就是带罪见神，这是可怕的。
so the day of our death is the day that we bring sin to face God. This is a dreadful day.
所以怎么让神不会向我们发怒？
So then how can we prevent God's wrath?
就是要来接受耶稣赦罪的恩典。
It is to come and accept the forgiving grace of Jesus.
要借着圣灵过一个更新的生活，
And through the Holy Spirit, we live a life of renewal.
就不会再犯罪。
Only then will we stop sinning.
第10节，
Verse 10. The days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they are 80 years, yet their boast is only labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off and we fly away.
人生是70、80岁，
So our days of our lives are 70 or 80 years.
从摩西到现在也差不多是这样。
And from the time of Moses until today, it's approximately the same.
那一生70、80年，如果没有神，到底活一辈子是怎么一回事？
So if you lead our entire 70 to 80 years of life without God, then what kind of life do we have?
第一个是劳苦，劳苦就是肉体很辛苦。
First, we will have labor, means physically we're tired.
我们有很多的责任，
We're full of responsibilities.
责任跟身份是连在一起的。
Responsibilities and status come together.
身份越多，责任越多。
The higher your status, the more responsibilities you carry.
所以每一天尽完责任，我精疲力竭。
So every day after you completed your responsibilities, you are so tired.
那下面是愁
Exhausted.
烦，劳苦愁烦。
And next, it is full of labor and sorrow.
愁烦就是心灵了。
So sorrow refers to your emotional state.
肉体很劳苦，心灵很多烦恼。
So physically you are labored, and mentally you are sorrowed.
那这样过7、80年，
And then you lead this kind of life for 70, 80 years.
我们转眼成功如飞而去。
Then soon it is, in a blink of an eye, we fly away.
这是人生的真相。
So this is the real, true depiction of human
那如
life.
果我们对神有认识，
But if we know God,
对人生也有很清楚的认识，
and if we have a clear knowledge and understanding of human life,
那很自然的结论就是我需要神，
then our natural conclusion would be that I need God.
我需要神做我的主宰，
I need God to be the sovereign ruler of my
我
life.
需要跟神很亲密，
I need to have a close relationship
只
with
有
God.
这样人生才有盼望，
Only through this way can my life be full of hope.
只有这样我们人生才有意义，
Only then can my life be meaningful.
只有这样人生才有价值。
Only then can my life be with value.
所以摩西对人生的结论
So therefore, the conclusion of Moses towards life
带他进入亲近神的生活
brought him to a life that is close to God.
一起来默祷。
Now let's together say a silent prayer.
阿们，我们休息10分钟。